Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This week I decided to create a Coachella inspired look, so if you would like to see how I created this, then please keep watching. Jumping right in, I'm going to be going in with the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, and I'm going to be using the shade Nuna as our transition color, and I'm just going to be blending that into the crease of my eye. Next up, I'm going to be using the shade Factory, and again I'm going to blend that into the crease of my eye just to intensify the color for later on when we start creating our cut crease. And of course we need to blend, so I'm going to be using this blending brush to blend those two colors together to make sure that we have no sharp lines. Next up, I'm going in with the 120 color palette by BH Cosmetics. I'm going to be using that brown color, and I'm just going to work that into the crease of my eye. And of course, again, we need to blend everything out and make sure there are no sharp lines. Moving on to creating our cut crease, I'm going to be using the NYX Above and Beyond Full Coverage Concealer in the shade Yellow, and I'm going to be using this flathead brush. Starting from the inner corners of my eye, I'm just slowly going to drag that color out and start carving out my cut crease. I normally like to create my cut crease just above the crease of my eye, and I'm just going to go in here now and start filling that out with the same concealer so that when I add my color on top, it pops. Going in with the smaller concealer brush, I'm just going to be carving out the edges of my cut crease now, and I just like to use a smaller brush so that my lines are nice and sharp and everything comes out evenly. And again, when doing the opposite eye, we're just going to be repeating that same process, again being very mindful that we want the same height when it comes to our cut crease, and we need everything to be even. Using that same smaller concealer brush, I'm going to be using that same 120 color palette by BH Cosmetics, and I'm just going to be working this yellow color into the inner corners of my cut crease, again making sure to stay in the line where I carved out my cut crease with the concealer earlier on. On to our middle color from that same palette, I'm going to be using this orange color, and I'm going to be working that into the middle of my eyelid. Again, I'm dragging that right to the edge of my cut crease, making sure not to drag that color outside of the line because we want our edges nice and sharp. And then I will be working that down into the middle of my eye and into the yellow that we've just put on. Being that I can pick up a lot more shadow and colour with this bigger brush, I'm just going to be using that to pack on the orange in the middle section of my eye. The bigger brush just means I can pick up obviously a lot more product, and it makes it a little bit easier for me to blend that orange into the yellow that we put on earlier. Moving on to our third and final color, I'm going to be using this hot pink color from the same BH120 palette that I used earlier, and I'm just going to be blending that into the outer corners of my cut crease. Again, I want to make sure that I'm not going over the line that we created earlier so that our edges are nice and sharp. And again, we want to blend that pink into the orange that we've just put on. going in with this larger eyeshadow brush, I'm just going to be blending all those colours in together, making sure they all transition nice and smoothly. Keeping our lines nice and sharp, I'm going to be going in with the same NYX concealer that we used earlier to create our cut crease, and I'm just going to use that to clean up under the wing of our eyeshadow. From the same BH palette that we used earlier, I'm just going to be using this burnt orange colour, and I'm just going to be blending that out along our lower lash line. And of course we blend. For liner, I am using the Maybelline New York Masterpiece liquid liner, and I'm just going to be dragging that from the outer corners of our shadow right to the inner corners of my eye. And of course we need lashes. These are the Center of Attention lashes by Tarte. To fill in our upper eyelid, I'm going to be using the black pencil eyeliner by MAC. Moving on to foundation, I'm going to be using the Sheer Glow foundation by NARS in the shade Barcelona. To conceal and highlight, I'm going to be using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Medium Custard, and I'm just going to be placing that under my eyes and in and around my T-zone. And to contour, I'm going to be using the Smashbox Contour Stick. And you guessed it, we need to blend. Using the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, I'm going to be using the darkest colour to contour my cheekbones. And to contour around the outer edges of my face, I'm going to be using the middle shade there from the same Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. Sticking with the same palette, I'm going to be going in with that banana powder, and I'm just going to use that powder to bake and carve out my cheekbones. And now that my powder is on, I'm going to be using the Maybelline New York Brow Drama Sculpting Brow Mascara in dark brown, just to add a little bit of thickness and texture to my eyebrows. And now that my eyelashes are well and truly dry, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara to lift those eyelashes and to create a little bit of drama. Using the Chi Chi Pure White Jumbo Eye Crayon, I'm just going to line my lower lash line. And now that we have left our powder to bake long enough, we are going to use this fluffy brush to blend and buff that all out. Moving on to lips, I'm going to be using the Colourpop Lippy Stick in the shade Tickler Matte, and I'm just going to be using that to line the outer edges of my lips and then filling my lips in with that same lipstick. And because I felt like my lips needed a little something extra, I've gone in with the same yellow that we used on our eyelids earlier, and I'm just dabbing that into the inner parts of my lip to create an ombre look. And going back in with the same lipstick, we're just going to blend that colour into our eyeshadow just a little bit more and make sure again our edges are nice and sharp. And last but not least, I'm going to be using the MAC Oh Darling highlighter to highlight those cheekbones and T-zone area. And there you have it. That is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I will be putting another video out next Sunday, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. Bye guys.